What's going on, everybody? Mile High back at it with another video, and today we've got another air attack strategy that's going to be using super dragons. But this one is a very spammy style. It's not like a surgical one like I posted in some other ones. This one's going to be a very simple, straightforward attack, and I do have some friendly challenges as well as some Legend League attacks. So for the equipment, I'm running the king because my minion prince is actually upgrading, but I think the minion prince actually would be better to send with your main troops, just because that dark orb ability is so good to slow down the core so your super dragons don't die. But again, mine's upgrading, so I'm using the king. It still will work with the king. With the queen, I'm using the giant arrow and the healer puppet. I'm using the eternal tome and the healing tome on the warden, and then I'm using the rocket spear and the electro boots on the royal champion. We're actually just going to be sending the royal champion with the main push in this specific attack strategy. So I'm going to go hop into a friendly challenge replay first, and then we'll get into some Legend League attacks. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is shoot my queen's giant arrow, either hitting air sweepers or air defenses. On this base in particular, I just wanted to activate the invis tower in the core. And then I'm just using the king, and I've got snake bracelet on him just to set the other side of the funnel, and I'm also going to use the royal champion with him this time just to take out that air defense, hopefully. Most of the time, though, I'm setting the royal champion in with the main push, but sometimes I will send with the king. It kind of depends on the base layout. We're actually going into double sweepers here, but it doesn't really matter with this attack because we do have quad clone. So even if we don't make it to the town hall, we're just going to clone towards the town hall. So we drop all 4 clones. You're actually cloning the yetis themselves and not the yeti mites with this attack. And look, it's just going to completely gut that core. It's tanking all the air expos, tanking the scatter shots, everything like that. So even though they're ground and you're using an air attack, it's still helpful because it will really help against multi-inferno towers. It'll obviously tank monoliths, scatter shots, stuff like that. So it actually does provide a lot of tanking for your super dragons. As you see, we've got a nice split here. We got our warden with the pack of super dragons down here with our king, and we've got our royal champion and another pack of super dragons up here. So we're going to shred through the backside of this base. So at this point, once that air defense goes down, there's really nothing that can stop us here. Air defense goes down. Royal champion might actually survive through this unless she gets locked on by that expo, but fortunately we still have our spirit fox alive, which is keeping our royal champion invisible, and our yetis in the core still tanking that expo, keeping our royal champion alive. So as you see, the yetis can still get you really good value. They can also fight off like ice golems and stuff like that as long as it's a ground CC. So it works out pretty well. Nice, easy 3-star. So I'm going to hop into one more friendly challenge, and then we'll get into some Legend League attacks. Alright, so in this base, we don't have invis towers. We have double poisons. So I'm going to shoot my queen's giant arrow, and as you see, we took out one of the air sweepers here. That's just to help get your blimp to the town hall. We're going to use the king up here. His snakes are going to start spawning, so he'll do a good job of funneling out that side. And this time, we're also going to send the royal champion with the king again because we can snipe out that air defense out on that side. So just, like I said, it kind of depends on the base layout. If your royal champion's not going to help set the funnel, then it's definitely worth it just to send it with the main pack, just so you can get her under the eternal tome. So we're going to drop our blimp right here in between, and we're going to clone in both directions. We're going to get the monolith, we're going to get the town hall, then they're going to go sideways and should be able to get both fire spitters, so that's pretty good value out of our CC there. And it's keeping the super dragon distracted. It is going to melt our yetis, but at this point they're not going to get that much more value anyway. They actually take out both of the multi-inferno towers as well, which is insane. We got huge value out of the yetis, even though you saw it wasn't a very stacked core. But those yeti mites can just start jumping over the walls and just shred through defenses. I think our pack up here is going to die because that air defense should take out that super dragon. But our phoenix is actually tanking the air defense, so we might get lucky here. No, of course. It passed to the storage instead of the air defense. If it would have went to that air defense, probably could have taken it out. But we have tons of super dragons alive at the bottom. Warden's still full health. Our queen's still full health with healers from her healer puppet. So this base, again, is going to be absolutely crushed. The only thing that can stop us at this point is that air defense, which honestly should have went down if that super dragon wasn't so dumb. But it's not going to matter because nothing's going to be able to take out our queen anyway. The ground expo is locked onto her, but that's not going to be enough damage by itself to take out the queen. And look how many super dragons we still have alive. They're going to overwhelm this air defense on the backside, and then after that, it's just the storage, which is going to go down no problem. We still have 2 super drags standing, full health queen with healers, another crushing 3-star, easy attacks. As you see, you don't even have to think. It's just king one side, queen the other side to funnel. Just send everything in the middle and protect your blimp to get to the town hall, and then just quad clone, crush through the base. So let's go hop into some Legend League attacks now. Alright, so into a Legend League attack, we have double poison towers again, which has been pretty meta for a while now. It was definitely meta during the disarmer meta, and I just don't know if people have changed their bases or what. We shoot our queen's giant arrow from the bottom. Both sweepers were down here, so we're just going to come in from behind them. I believe both sweepers are down here. Honestly, I don't even... No, the other sweeper's up here. Never mind. We didn't get a sweeper, but we're just going to set the funnel. Send everything into the middle here. Once our blimp gets to the town hall, we're going to clone in different directions. As you see, we're fighting sweepers, double sweepers, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Even if you fall short, you can just clone to the town hall. So we're just going to clone all around, rage them up. They should be able to take out that fire spitter. They're going to fight off the ice golems, which is really nice because they're not going to freeze up our super dragons, because that can actually cause you a lot of issues. That's why I like this, because the yetis can actually kill most of the ice golems, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then they still get value out of the yeti mites. Unfortunately, we didn't get that fire spitter, which is kind of surprising, but we did get a lot of stuff in the core there. A royal champion is going to go down because that ice golem did path over there. And did it go down? No, it didn't, but fortunately, it's up out of the way now. So our super dragons really don't have to deal with it now. They're just going to path around the outside here. So we got, how many? There's like 5 or 6 super dragons there, I think, with the warden, which is all we have left. But as you'll see here, they are so powerful, especially if you got buildings that are tightly grouped together. So we're just going to 2 times through this because there is a lot of base still left. But these super dragons actually make pretty quick work of it. They do path into that clan castle, which is nice to make sure we didn't have to backtrack for it. So this fire spitter is going to go down, and once that air defense goes down, there's nothing on the base that can stop us anymore. We are down to just 2 super dragons, but it's not going to matter. All that's left basically is Teslas and a multi-archer tower. So as long as we don't get really unlucky with seeking air mines, we should be completely fine here. The dragons are getting a little bit weak, but as you see, when the buildings are touching, they can splash damage and just take out multiple buildings at once. So now it's just the multi-archer tower, which that super dragon does a lot of damage to. And now our warden can freely finish off the rest of the base. Should be able to outrange the Tesla, but it actually does walk into the Tesla. So that was really close. It targets the ice golem. And our warden is going to finish off the storage for the 3-star. That was a very close attack. But I didn't get very much value out of the Queen's Giant Arrow. And I didn't get a ton of value out of the Yeti Bomb either, because I wanted that fire spitter, but we didn't end up getting it. So we had to fight that fire spitter the whole time, which did cause us a lot of problems. But nonetheless, it's a 3-star. So let's go hop into one more attack. Alright, so on this base here, we got double poison towers again. Like I said, that's been meta for a while now. The meta might start to shift now that the disarmers are gone, so we might be going back to invis towers. That's why I really like the Queen's Giant Arrow. So we take out, I believe, yeah, we got 2 air defenses with the Giant Arrow this time. We're going to send the King and the Royal Champion from over here, which should be able to snipe out that next air defense, which is really nice. Hopefully we don't run out of rocket spear shots. Hopefully she can take that out. I want to zoom in and watch. Yep, one-shots that. We use our warden ability early through all this damage, and we're actually not going to send the blimp to the town hall because look how much damage is in the core here. We're actually going to drop the blimp early and just start tanking for these super dragons, take out all this damage in the core, because the town hall usually will go down as long as you can get the heavy damage out of the way early. You have plenty of push through the backside of the base. So if it's a stacked core, I'm using the blimp on the core 100% of the time over the town hall. I just want that value. As you see, we've got both fire spitters going down now. The last Inferno going down. We still have tons of cloned Yetis over here just beating on a wall. But as you see, there's like no damage left in the base. It's basically just the town hall with 1 air defense now and the minion prince. But look at this. Our 1 super dragon splashing off the minion prince onto the town hall. Town hall nearly goes down. Our warden might actually get it. Not one more shot, he would have got it, but of course he just switches targets at the last second. We still had our king ability, so we use that. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super dragons still alive. Queen's still alive, King's on Phoenix, and we still have a Yeti alive from the blimp. This base was absolutely crushed. It was a fast attack too. Just completely leveled this base. Easy 3-star, crushing 3-star. It was a lower leveled base, but I mean, I gotta attack what's in front of me. It's in Legend League. I can't pick and choose what I get. So that's gonna do it for this video. It is a really easy, strong attack for people who like air attacks. So let me know in the comments how this works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next video.